Now, with pretty much everyone around Arsenal, from reporters, fans, and I'm sure even players, pretty sure that Aaron Ramsdale will be leaving Arsenal in the summer, probably after the Euros, and Arsenal will make David Raya a permanent transfer in a matter of time, Arsenal will be in the market for a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper capable of playing as a starter when needed, but most likely a goalkeeper that could play a backup to David Raya. And in the past couple of days, Arsenal have been linked with Real Madrid's backup keeper and Ukrainian international Andriy Lunin. The 25-year-old was absolutely amazing for Real Madrid this season, standing in while Courtois was injured with an ACL injury, and with 1 year left on his contract, Arsenal could reportedly get a really high-level 25-year-old keeper for a cut price, according to reports. But would this be the right move for Arsenal? Well, that's what we'll be talking about today. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Gunner Central here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, I'm pretty sure we're all expecting Aaron Ramsdale to be sold, so I don't think the fact of if we should hold on to Ramsdale or not is really up in the air. I think he's going to be leaving, and if that's the case, I think Lunin is a pretty good keeper to come replace Ramsdale. Now, if you aren't the most avid follower of La Liga, you might not even know this about Lunin, but he was a starting goalkeeper for the majority of the season for Real Madrid. When Courtois tore his ACL days before the season, Lunin played the start in 2 games where he conceded 1 goal, but saw Real Madrid win both games. And then Real Madrid went to go get Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea, and Kepa had some good games for Madrid, don't get it twisted, but he had some dodgy games, dodgy moments, and Lunin became the starter in early November and never let that spot go. Lunin had some elite performances throughout Madrid's Champions League and La Liga winning campaign this season, including a game against RB Leipzig away from home in the round of 16 in the Champions League, where Real Madrid got a 1-0 win and Lunin made 9 saves away from home in that one game. And another world-class performance that Lunin had was in the second leg of the quarterfinals against Manchester City in the Etihad, seeing him, yes, concede a goal, but also make 8 saves in the game in the Etihad Stadium against Man City, and seeing him make 2 huge saves in the shootout to send Madrid through to the semi-finals. He also had really good games against Bayern Munich in the second leg, he had good games against Atletico and Sevilla in the league. Lunin overall had such an impressive season that some of the Madridistas wanted Lunin to start ahead of Courtois in the Champions League final. Now, that isn't to say Lunin is a better goalkeeper than Courtois, but the fact that Courtois had been out for so long, Lunin had been so good throughout the season, he was a huge reason why Real Madrid made it to the final. Some people wanted to see him start in the Champions League final. Now, I know this may sound crazy if you haven't watched much of Lunin play this season, but Lunin, in my opinion, is arguably a better shot stopper than both Raya and Ramsdale, and his positioning is arguably better than both of them. However, the only drawback that I see in Lunin's game is that he is nowhere near as good with his feet as David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale. But overall, if you look at it as a goalkeeper, Lunin has some things that he is better at than Raya and Ramsdale. Now, even if we were to get Lunin, I still expect him to be a backup behind Raya. I think Raya is just too good with his feet. Compared to Lunin, you can't really replace that. But Lunin is an extremely talented 25-year-old goalkeeper, has a lot of good physical tools, really good shot stopper, good in the air. I think Lunin is a steal of a sign. But now you might be questioning, well, why would Lunin leave Real Madrid, who just won a Champions League, to be a backup at Arsenal? Well, there are a couple ways you could look at it. At Arsenal, it's much more realistic that he could fight for his place to become our starting keeper. Not that he will, but it's more realistic, whereas in Madrid, there's almost no way he could become the starting keeper over Courtois, again, unless Courtois gets injured. And with 1 year left on his contract at the age of 25, Madrid may be forced to sell Lunin if he decides to leave and not extend. Madrid don't really have a say to hold him on for a lot of money, hence why Arsenal could get a cut price for Lunin. And if Lunin sees his future elsewhere, he sees a role at Arsenal that he could play and eventually become our starter, well, then he might be able to take this role instead of staying at Madrid. So him leaving Madrid to join Arsenal, in my opinion, isn't a crazy thing to imagine happening. Now, I would personally love this move. Again, we are getting probably the best backup keeper in the world at the age of 25 years old for a cut price because his contract is expiring in a year's time. He's also more than good enough to compete with Raya for the #1 spot. But the only thing making me a little wary about this is his ability with his feet. He's not horrible with his feet, don't get it twisted. He is a decent enough goalkeeper with his feet. But the way that Arteta plays, it is very important that the goalkeeper is really, really good with his feet. Lunin is pretty average with it. He's not bad, but he's not great. and both Ramsdale and Raya are really impressive with their feet. Raya's probably even better than Ramsdale with it. But again, you look at other areas of Lunin's game and you could really see a reason why he would be so good in this team, especially as a backup. Again, his shot stopping is really high level. He switched on 90 minutes of the game, really good at claiming set pieces, claiming crosses. Lunin is a very, very solid goalkeeper. And I mean, you look at Man City have proven that you need more than just one good goalkeeper to win the league. With them having both Ederson and Ortega, it allowed, if the fact that Ederson was to get injured, well then Ortega would come in and there wouldn't be a drop-off in goalkeeping quality. And if we could have Lunin, I promise you, if Raya were to get injured, well, we wouldn't have a drop-off in goalkeeping quality either, again, outside of playing off in the back, but that could always be worked on. So the fact that we could sell Ramsdale, and we're looking likely to sell Ramsdale, and then get Lunin while making a possible profit with both those transactions put together, I would absolutely love this move, and I don't see why we shouldn't pursue this.